So warm-up number 59 should come up on your screen. And it says compute the measures of position for Q2 and sketch a bell curve given 1, 30, 11, 16, 21, and 6. We started, please. Record this. And I'm going to write over here on the side, reminder. Retakes on formulas, assessment, Wednesday and Thursday before or after school and during advisory. So make sure those of you that need to retake that assessment, since you studied all 11 days during the break, right? Should be ready to go. Once again, this is part of your 50% of your grade, so it's being recorded. There it is. So finish up the warm-up. I'll give you guys some time. All right, remind your neighbor what they mean. What do they mean with compute the measures of position? Remind your neighbor, and then Austin's going to get us started. What do they mean with measures of position? Talk to your neighbor. What do they mean with measures of position? Measures of position. All right. Looks like Alessandra's got it. Very good, Alessandra. I see you. Amelia's got it. I see you, Amelia. Let's go with Austin S. What do they mean with measures of position? The z-score. That is correct. So we need a formula for the z-score. What is our formula? Share it with your neighbor, and then Austin's going to pass it to someone. Formula for z-score. All right, Austin, pass someone. Hands, if you got that? That is correct. We got x minus x bar over s, which is standard deviation, which means you have to go through the entire thing, get your standard deviation in order to get the z-score. So which is our x? Well, our x, Mr. Q, is going to be the Q2, right? The mean, which is this one, by now you should know what I mean. You should know what I mean. And standard deviation, of course, it's obvious. So, being that I wasn't here yesterday, I guess I'm going to guide you through this one. 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, and 30. So, now that we have them in ascending order, now we need to find the median or Q2. So, what is the median? Tell your neighbor what you got for the median that goes there. See if they got the same thing as you. What's our median, Vianney? $13.5. So if you add 11 plus 16, that's 27 divided by 2. That's 13.5. That is correct. So now we have our x. Okay. Now we need a mean, which is the x bar. So adding all these up and then divided by 6. What is our mean, our x bar? Share with your neighbor, and then Vianney's going to pass someone. All right, pass someone, Vianney. 14.1. Hands if you got that. Looks about right. So now we have the x, we have the x bar. Now we just need the standard deviation. You guys know how to do that. You can either use a formula or go the long way. So I'm going to wait for you guys for that one. Give you a little bit more time approximately. And in the meantime, I'm going to build my bell curve down here, since it said to build a bell curve. X bar, first standard deviation, up and down. Now remind your neighbor, why is it that I only go one up and one down on the standard deviation? Why do we only go one up and one down? Remind your neighbor, why only use one up and one down? Why only one up and one down? Amelia. Why do I always just use one up and one down as the standard deviation? Let's go. That is correct. That's the norm. All right. So now that you got your standard deviation, check with your neighbor, and then who went last? Was it? Okay. Wait. Wasn't it Amelia? Hey. Pass them on, please, Amelia. Santi. Standard deviation. 10.5. Hands, have you got that? Looks about right. So if we go 10.5 up from the mean we are at 14.1. If we go up 10.5, that's 24.6. And if we go 10.5 below, we are at 3.6. 3.6. So our range is from 3.6 all the way to 24.6, which is our norm. And then from there, we need, what do we need? Oh, the z-score. By now you should know how to compute the z-score, yes? So we have x, which is 13.5, x bar, which is 14.1, and the standard deviation 10.5. Share with your neighbor what you got for your z-score. What did you get for your z-score? Share with your neighbor, please. Z-score. Looks like Cole's got it. I see you, Cole. Mario's got it. I see you, Mario. Carter's got it. I see you, Carter. So let's go with Brandon Darty. What'd you get for your z-score? Negative 0.05. Close enough. Hands if you got something like that. That is correct. So negative 0.05 is to the left of the mean and very close to the mean. Right there. Does everybody see what I mean? See what I mean? There it is. All right. So far so good, yes? Yes, Mr. Q. All right. Give me a second. Send me your warm-up to the screen, please. I want to see what you did. And once again, since it's being recorded, reminder, retakes for the formula assessment is tomorrow and Thursday before or after school, or during advisory. So tell your teacher if they can let you come in during advisory and take that. All right? Agenda for today, warm-up number 59, cumulative review. Home play is study guide problems numbers 13 through 22 only, and adjourn. All right, once again, warm-up number 59 done, cumulative review. We're in the middle of that. And tonight's home play numbers 13 to 22. But what am I talking about? So you guys already finished the whole thing during Thanksgiving break. Woo. You were having leftover tortas the next day, right? All that turkey and ham stuffed in the torta, and then you were looking at your study guide. Oh, yeah, I see you guys. Woo-wee. Anyways, also, before I move on, aside from that, pay attention. This is specifically for my period 2, and this is being recorded. I'm going to resend this back home to get signed because somebody, I'm not going to say any names, they filled out the wrong part of the paper when we handed these out. So now I'm going to hand this out right now, again. So could I get the last person on each row come get papers for your row, please? Bless you. All right. Does everybody have one of these? Okay, do me a favor. Where it says student name, I want you to write your full name, please. Where it says student name, whether on the front side or in Spanish, nombre completo del alumno. write your full name. At the bottom where it says name and signature of parent, I want you to write the name of your parent. Or if it's both of them, write both of them, and then that's going to be signed tonight. But write it right now. So we need to have a name and your name and the parent name. All right? So put that in your notes somewhere in there. Bring that back tomorrow. I'm going to count it as a pop party. How about them apples? Due tomorrow as you walk in. So make sure you get that signed. Please. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Thank you. All right? We good? So it has your name, it has your parents' name, and all you need to do is get it signed and dated tonight. All right? Bring that back tomorrow. All right, copy the code for today's presentation. You have access to that. GKCI2. 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 All right, so everybody copy the code. Get a Cornell note ready, please. And also get your study guides out so we can be working out of those as well. Our objective for today, I can master all semester 1 concepts and skills. Okay, y'all ready? All right, here we go. Yanni, you ready? All right, let's go. Number 1, look at your study guide. This should be number 1 on your study guide. On your paper, write number 1. We're going to be doing some work from here. So let me guide you through this one. It reads, in the cafeteria, sometimes salads are served and sometimes fruit is served. Linda notes that out of 15 days, 12 days salads is served and 3 days fruit is served. Predict how many days fruit is served in a 180-day school year. If necessary, round your nearest to the nearest whole number. So first thing to notice, look up to the screen, is they're serving 2 types of things that they're observing right now. In green, I'm going to underline that they're serving what? Sometimes salads. In green, get it? Green. Or sometimes fruit. I'm going to use red for fruits, in case it's like strawberries and stuff. However, Linda noted that out of how many days that she observed? She observed how many days? 15. Okay. So out of those 15 days, 12 days were salad and 3 days were fruit. Okay. So it says, predict how many fruit is served in 180 school days. So right away, they want us to predict for how many days? 180 days. So let's make a fraction here. So we got x over 180. We want to predict how many out of 180. How many out of 180? So what does the x represent? The x represents, she wants to predict how many what? Days fruit is served. So that means the top is days for fruit, and the bottom is the total days. All right. However, let's go back to what they give us over here. How many out of 15 days, how many days did they serve fruit? 3 days. So I'm going to write over here a proportion. 3 days out of how many? 15. And the rest is history. When we have a fraction equal to another fraction, cross multiply. 15x equals 180 times 3. That's 540, is it? Yes? And of course, divide by 15, divide by 15. X equals. Looks like Mario's got it already. Very good, Mario. All right. Melina, what'd you get? 36. 36 what, everyone? Days that they serve what? Fruit. So therefore, let's write our conclusion. Out of 180 days, comma, 36 days, they will serve fruit. 10Q. Pretty good, yeah? Yes, Mr. Q. All right. Send me your notes, please, on your screen. Send that in, please. Number 2 on your paper. And it reads, a factory produces 28,000 computer monitors per day. The manager of the factory claims that fewer than 870 defective computer monitors are produced each day. In a random sample of 200 computer monitors, there are 3 defective computer monitors. Determine whether the manager claim is likely to be true. Explain. So, according to the manager, how many monitors are in average defective, everyone? How many are defective? Fewer than 870. So that we're going to check that less than 870 monitors are defective. That's what we're going to check at the end. Okay? So to get started, it says, in a random sample, out of 200 computer monitors, 3 are defective. So I'm going to make my ratio with that. So I got 3 defective out of 200. These are defective, and these are the total monitors. Total. So defective monitors is 3. Total monitors are 200. That's the sample. So let's get a proportion going. And we want to check out of how many. How many does the factory produce? 28,000. So the total is 28,000. And we want to see how many are going to be defective according to that ratio right there. So cross multiply, calculators calculate. So we got x times 200, that's 200x. 3 times 28,000, that's 2, 4, 6. It's 84,000, yeah? And lastly, divide by 200, divide by 200. X equals, calculators calculate. All right, looks like Aaron's got it. I see you, Aaron. Shirley's got it. Let's go out of Shirley. Z's got it. There's very good, Z. All right, let's see, bless you, what Z got. What'd you get, Z? What is it? 420? 420 defective. Out of how many? 28,000. What was the claim of the manager, guys? What was his claim? Less than 870, so is he right? So what would be a conclusion that you would write? The manager is right. 10Q. Yeah, and if you just want to refer to this, 420 is less than 870. Yep. All right, send me that, please. Here goes the screen. For what? For a meeting. Okay. Send that in, please. Wait for the pass. There's one? Okay. All right, for these following ones, make sure you read it carefully. Pay attention to this part. Read it carefully. and place yourself in the situation, whatever it is, the problem that they have in front of you. Most of these is just basic logic. Okay, we already know what biases are. We already know what samples are and what population are. We just think it through and come up with a correct answer. They don't need any computation, just selecting your correct answer. So here we go. This is number 3. Yes, it reads, at Rosa's summer job with a research company, she must get a representative sample of people from her own town to answer a question about health habits. Which of the following methods could be used to get a representative sample? So think about this. Let's say I send you guys out here to Imperial, and I want you to go get a sample, a survey about health. Where would you go? Think about it first. So now, read through those. Don't give me the answer. I'm going to read them through. A, select people who are in the hospital. B, gather responses from women who own business in town. C, select people randomly from a computer list. Or D, selecting every 10th person as they enter a fast food restaurant. So, talk it over your neighbor. Let them know which one you select and why are you selecting that. Then write the letter on your screen. Then Alessandra's going to enlighten us. What do you select, Alessandra? All right, so let's go through these and see if your colleague is correct. If I was to send you to go and take a survey, a representative survey out of the entire Imperial population about health, would you go to a hospital? What kind of answers are you going to get from people at the hospital? Not that good, right? Because they are at the hospital. B, gather responses from women who own businesses in town. Isn't that a little bit biased? Yeah, you're only selecting a group of people. Selecting people randomly from a computer list, that's doable. Look at D, selecting every 10th person as they enter a fast food restaurant. Would you select the last one? Fast food restaurant, you're going to be getting their answers for a health survey. Is fast food healthy? So then why are you going to go to a fast food restaurant to ask for a sample? Correct answer is C. Does everybody see what we mean with that? Not the hospital, because people are there for a reason. They're ill, or they have somebody ill there, so when they respond to the survey, it's going to be biased. B, biased because they're only surveying women or their businesses. The last one, because people that go to fast food restaurants on a daily, that's not a healthy option. That's why I keep telling you guys need to up your greens. Okay? All right? Thank you for sending that in. Let's go to the next one. And it reads, Jean pulled a random sample. Pay attention to this one. This is a tricky one. Jean pulled a random sample from a population and calculated a sample statistic. Jean can use the statistic to draw inference about what? So let me underline keywords here. Jean pulled a random sample from a population and calculated a sample statistic. Sample statistic. Okay? So let me ask you a question. If I was to send you out and I wanted a survey from Imperial, we already know that you're not going to go to every person in Imperial because it takes what? Too much time. Is that correct? So we always use what? A sample. So question. Jean can use the statistic to draw an inference about what? So is either A, the corresponding sample parameter, B, the population size, C, the corresponding population statistic, or D, corresponding population parameter. Talk with your neighbor, let them know what would you select and why. What would you select and why? All right? So, whenever we go out and take a sample, we need to come back and match it to the what? To the population, right? So, it's either this one, and this one. So, not this one. Okay? However, when we go out, we're only taking a certain sample. Does that predict the exact population of the city? No, so it's not this one. So it has to be one of these two. So some of you right away saw it was statistic, sample, statistic, population. In a sense, that would be true. However, whenever you go out to get a sample from the population and you come back, you want to see that sample, not for the statistic only, but a particular set of whatever it is you're looking for. So the correct answer would be what? Parameter. So go back to your notes and find out what parameter is. Once again, population, parameter. That's how you go one by one to make sure you get the correct answer. All right? All right. Let's go to the next one. Match the sample of students with the correct sampling method. Every third student of the class list. Remind your neighbor what kind of a sample is that. Every third student of the class list. Remind your neighbor what kind of sampling is that. What kind of sampling? All right, looks like Alessandra's got it. Very good, Alessandra. But let's go with, ooh, I like that song. Let's go. Let's go with Mario. Which one? What'd you say? D, hands if you agree with systematic. That is correct. Systematic is every third, every fifth, every seventh, every 10th, and so on and so forth. Yes, that's systematic. All right. Next, which survey question is unbiased? So let me elaborate. Which one is unbiased? Or which one does not gaslight or try to manipulate your thinking in regards to that? Like Danelli's got it. Very good. Daly, not bad. How about Austin T? What do you think, Austin? What is it? C. Let's see. Let's go one by one. Don't you agree that the campus parking is a problem? What are they trying to do there? Make you think that it is a problem, right? So it can't be A. B. Saving money is important to you, isn't it? And that makes some of you like feel bad because some of you don't save any money. So they're trying to manipulate your thinking, so no. How about D? Did Mary lift a finger to help? Man, that's a major gaslighting right there, right? So no, it's not that one. So the correct answer is C. That is correct. Ooh. Did Brandon Darty lift a finger to do any of this work during the break? You see what I'm saying? Trying to gaslight, right? All right, let's go to the next one, and it reads, determine whether the situation is an example of an experimental or observational study. So, before I get started with that, tell your neighbor the difference between observational study and experimental study. Remind them, what is the difference between observational study and experimental study? What's the difference between observational and experimental study? All right, looks like Mia's got it. Very good, Mia. Lulu's got it. I see you, Lulu. Araceli's got it. I see you, Araceli. Angeli, I see you. All right, the difference between observational and experimental. How about David? What do you think? Observational versus experimental. What is each of those? You ever hear that? Observational, you just observe and take data. Experimental, you actually try to manipulate by introducing something. Yes? All right. So let's read this one. It says, a volcanologist compares average global temperatures in years where there was a major volcanic eruption to average global temperatures in years without major eruptions. So tell your neighbor, what kind of experiment is that? I mean, what kind of is it an experimental or observational study? What kind of study is that? All right. Looks like Cole's got it. I see you, Cole. Austin's got it. Very good, Austin. Let's go with Vanya. What do you think, Vanya? Observational. Hands if you agree with observational. Why do you agree with that, Vianney? Yeah, could this person make volcanoes erupt? No. Could this person change the temperature? No. That is correct. It's observational. Letter B. Letter B. Let's go to the next one. Same thing. Study whether it's observational or experimental, and it reads, Daryl wants to know whether his car will get better mileage with a certain fuel additive. Let me repeat that again. Daryl wants to know whether his car will get better mileage with a certain fuel additive. He fills his gas tank up without the additive and drives until the tank is empty. Then, the next time he fills up the tank, he inserts the fuel additive. Tell your neighbor, what kind of study will this be? What kind of study will this be? What kind of study? It's like Vanya's got it. Very good, Vanya. Sam's got it. But let's go with Alexa. What kind of study is this? Experimental. Hands if you agree with that. Experimental? That is correct. Why is it experimental? Austin S. Yeah, he added the additive, and that's what he's actually adding something or manipulating this study. That is correct. And by the way, those of you that drive, if you add an additive from time to time, it helps you clean your injectors of your vehicle. Also, if you pump 91 on the long run, your engine cleans itself. Anyways, just even though it's like 20, 30 cents more, but on the long run, it saves you a bunch of hassle. So, anyways, FYI. Next one, saying, what kind of study? Camille gives a survey to two groups of people. One group uses high sulfate laundry detergent, and the other uses low sulfate laundry detergents. Tell your neighbor, what kind of study is that? And let me send this to your screen so you can write the letter. That one. Oh, that. There it is. Write it on the screen once you discuss it with your neighbor. All right. So I see a split, but I see the majority of you chose A. Hands if you agree that it's experimental. That is incorrect. You're like, what? Mr. Q, aren't they adding a type of laundry detergent? But let me ask you this. Did Camille give them the detergent? No, she just went to observe those that used a certain type and a certain type. So be careful with these, guys. Make sure you ask that question. Did she or the person manipulate anything in the study? Okay? All right. So the correct answer was B. Continue. Next one. Let's see. You want to know if the children of musicians are more likely to learn to play an instrument. Tell your neighbor what kind of study that is. What kind of study is that? Santi, what kind of study is that? Observational, that is correct. You can't go and try to teach these kids to play. You're just observing. All right, and the last one is basically making a proportion. You guys know how to do that. So on the last one, you just do 399 over 400 equals to x over 1600 and cross multiply and solve. So tonight's home play. The next problem's on the study guide, and bring that paper signed tomorrow. Bye. Have a good one, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.